Hello and welcome to another video on the JJ Think Tank. I hope you're doing well this morning. If you are watching this in the morning, of course. Today, I want to talk about the political situation in the UK, its future, what can be done to reverse the negative course that it's taking at this moment in time, and in general kind of a philosophical, economic, political and historical discussion on the legacy of the British Empire, how it still impacts modern society and the interactions between different ethnic groups. And linked to this, I'll provide my own British perspective and also the Polish perspective, yes? Because, as you may know, my ethnic background is Polish, but I was born in Britain, yes? I was born in London. So observing the interactions between both English individuals, people from England, yes, such as the people involved with the Lotus Eaters podcast, or other podcasts such as Liam Tufts, yes, Russell Brand, other commentators such as Paul Golding, Steve Laws, Tommy Robinson, Mick Griffin, and we've also got the Islamic perspective, the Muslim perspective. So, Ali Dawa, yes, Mohammed Hijab. I'm laughing because they're actually quite charismatic. They're charismatic people, and personally, I agree with many of their points of view as well. Who else have we got? Dylan Hussein, yes. So he had a brilliant podcast with Nick Griffin, and today I think it was the best podcast, the Blood Brothers podcast, yes, because it shows how when you are really passionate about the truth, when you see the human in the other, yes, you reach the truth, yes, and a consensus can be reached. And this is what I'll strive to achieve in this video today. And I began my article with this quote by Jeremy Paxman. He was a figure growing up that I not admired, but I guess I looked up to. Looking back in hindsight, yes. He was a person who was always quite intimidating, but because of his character and personality, he was a brilliant interviewer, yes, and interrogator. Of course, some people criticize him because he comes from this liberal background, cosmopolitan background, and so he's not always accurate. But he has some brilliant thoughts, and one of them is this one here. So instead of trying to grapple with the implications of the story of empire, the British seem to have decided just to ignore it. The most corrosive part of this amnesia is a sense that because the nation is not what it was, it can never be anything again. And this is true, right? After the collapse of the British Empire, there never was established a committee, perhaps, where different people from various backgrounds could meet to discuss the legacy of the empire, to discuss both the good and bad of the British Empire, yes, and So because this didn't take place, kind of a new consensus could not have arisen back then. Now this is changing because the mainstream media is losing, well, it has already lost its stranglehold on the discourse, on the narrative. This is the power of platforms such as YouTube, Twitter, because they allow people with a lack of power and those, yes, not involved with the corrupt establishment to have their say, yes, on what is going on. And so there is hope that in Britain this consensus can arise, a shared vision can arise, and Britain can move on from the legacy of the British Empire, from its history, and create something new, yes? So let's now talk about the negative things going on. So, without a doubt, tensions are rising in Britain due to emerging and coalescing of various factors and processes, yes? Rising uncontrolled legal and illegal migration, increasing costs of living, increased crime, and a teetering economy with a concentration of wealth found in London. And here, with regards to legal and illegal migration, for example, you would be surprised that even immigrants, yes, first-generation immigrants or second-generation immigrants or immigrants who have only arrived recently, they are also, yes, complaining about this, because this is not just an ethnic issue or an issue about culture. It's also about the strain it has, yes, on public finances, on the public system, and so forth, yes. Then increasing costs of living. This affects everyone, right? Even the middle class now. The middle class is targeted by this neoliberal economic structure. Increased crime, which is a result of increased inequality, yes. And a teetering economy, with a concentration of wealth found in London, as I wrote down, yes. And here it's, I think a documentary is very relevant. So I watched this documentary with my father a couple of months ago, and this is the name of it: The Spider's Web: Britain's Second Empire, yes, the Secret World of Finance. And this documentary, it really shows how there are still some aspects of the British Empire that are still active and that are causing the increased inequality to remain. The main point, really, you can watch the documentary yourself, but the main point really is kind of these offshore islands where all the profits from corrupt multinational corporations are extracted and held, yes? So there's kind of a collusion between corrupt leaders in third world countries and corrupt capitalists, yes, capitalists in the West, and this corrupt arrangement means that only a select few people, yes, from both Western civilization and various third world countries benefit, yes, from the system. So we've got all these islands, yes, the Cayman Islands, not Gibraltar, but Jersey Island as well. Here, there's these offshore tax arrangements that still exist. And it's a brilliant economic and financial analysis of what's going on, yes, from the perspective of economics and finance, yes. So yeah, this is kind of the economic aspect, yes. And I won't really go into this much more. I'll cover some other points, but for now, this is all that I will say. But now I'd like to move on to multiculturalism, yes. So overall, we can say that multiculturalism has failed, and this is from my perspective, this is partly due to the education system in public schools. So in the public curriculum in comprehensive schools in Britain, a real kind of sense of identity for the English, for people from other backgrounds is not taught, yes. Great works of literature, great works of art from the Anglosphere is not presented, is not promoted, yes. And the same goes for literature from other countries, yes, where the British Empire was involved. And this is necessary because then children and teenagers growing up from different backgrounds have a sense of identity, both as part of the British Empire but also at the same time their kind of local ethnic identity, yes, which would allow a real process of integration to occur. But this is changing now, obviously, with the online world, and there are processes occurring which are reversing this trend to some degree. And I alluded to the Blood Brothers podcast between Dilly Hussain and Nick Griffin. And they really dissected, yes, the issues facing both Muslim communities and Christian communities in Britain, where there is a shared consensus and where perhaps there are differences, yes. Before I move on to the different parties that are popping up now, I want to talk about the British Empire again and add a little comment of mine. So here I would say that sometimes the English and the British, they don't recognise their own sin in the international arena, because the British Empire is well known for playing this divide and conquer strategy and in some way using and abusing nations to further their own interests, yes. And here, when we look back at Polish history, this definitely took place in Poland as well, because Poland was forced, yes, into a war with Germany. And if you read the archives, Britain, the Anglo-Jewish establishment at the time, directed events so that the first wave of attacks from Hitler would be directed to Poland, yes? And this is the eternal strategy of the Anglo-American establishment, really, when it comes to the Eurasian landmass, yes? The countries in between East and West are kind of used as a battering ram against the other empires, yes? And we see the same process occurring in all the countries in the Middle East, yes, Afghanistan is also the plaything of empires, both the Russian Empire and the British Empire, the American Empire, yes. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, now Palestine. So all these countries in between East and West are in this unfortunate position where they are kind of in between both the West and the East, and therefore they are more at risk of undergoing shocks and traumas. And this is where I agree with the Muslim perspective, the Islamic perspective, because they see, just like many Polish commentators, how capitalism and neoliberalism, liberalism, I apologize, it's and this consensus of free market economics, yes, is this in fact is just theft in broad daylight, using legalese and white handkerchiefs, yes. And I would argue that this same economic consensus is destroying parts of Britain. So much of the north now in England, it has been destroyed in an economic sense, yes. It has been deindustrialized. And we can see all these towns in the north, they are poverty-stricken, yes. Hull comes to mind. Other places, yes. Parts of Manchester. Other former towns and cities in the north that are now much poorer than before. So it's really about pointing out the negative aspects of the Anglo-American kind of establishment, but also not putting all English and British people into this kind of same basket, yes, because this is this shows a lack of thought and a bias, yes, an inherent bias, and perhaps some underlying hate towards English identity, towards English culture and British culture, because there are also many brilliant aspects of English and British culture that subconsciously or consciously people accept and like, yes. After all, English is the lingua franca of the world. This is the legacy of the British Empire. The English language has been bequeathed to the world. And whether people like to admit it or not, the fact that they use the English language means that they are kind of a part of the Anglosphere, yes? And why it's foolish, yes, to then kind of expand your distaste, yes, or your hate towards the whole English population, if you are, for example, Muslim, yes, or a person from the third world, quote unquote, yes. So I hope you understand where I'm getting at, because this is a very complicated issue. There are so many layers, and obviously it's hard to present all your thoughts in a short YouTube video. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So now I want to move on to the new parties that are popping up, yes? So we've got three main parties. Green Party, Zach Polanski's the Green Party, Rupert Lowe's Reform, Restore Britain, and Reform, yes, Nigel Farage. And the good news is that all of these parties notice the same corrupt nature of the establishment, yes? And it's clear now that soon Labour and the Conservatives will be destroyed, and the dualistic two-party state will be coming to an end, yes? Due to this kind of rise in the spread of information, consciousness, people are starting to think for themselves finally, and this is a brilliant sign, yes, because finally we can create a more just society and system. Yes. Of course, the competing visions offered by these parties will be a sticking point. So, for instance, Zach Polanski has some crazy views, right? Like legalizing heroin, all these like nonsense views. But at the same time, he is right about this neoliberal economic structure of capitalism. And I would agree with him that the power of these banks, of the financial institutions, it's mad. It's gone mad. It's this casino capitalism, as many commentators have shown. It's a joke, yes, and this needs to change. There is a middle ground. There is a middle way. Yes, the Scandinavian countries have shown that this is possible. Denmark, Norway, yes, Sweden, Finland, perhaps I think as well. They have this specific Nordic model of capitalism where there is more state intervention, and this casino-like unethical form of capitalism is controlled. Yes. The same is true for the Asiatic countries, yes, in the Far East, such as Taiwan, Japan, Singapore. What other country there? Hong Kong, yes. So all these countries, they have managed to implement this system where the flow of capital is controlled, and the state directs the country and protects its major industries and its important companies and firms, so that the average wealth of a citizen is protected, yes, and the public finances are protected, so that, socialist policies can also be implemented to provide more jobs and wealth, yes, for the average citizen. So what are the policies that are shared by all these parties? So here I think mass migration into the country, both legal and illegal, is actually shared by these parties. Perhaps the Green Party, well, doesn't share this to the same degree, but they should be convinced, and they should be persuaded eventually to this position, yes? Because this mass migration now is causing too much chaos, because if you walk the streets of London, there's no shared culture. Many people now don't even speak English. So there isn't even a possibility of interaction, yes? Over time, this causes issues in the society. As I alluded to, a new British curriculum at school should be created when it comes to subjects such as history, geography, politics, and religious education, mixing both traditional and liberal perspectives, yes? And this is important because otherwise, this kind of real tolerance and respect for the other will not arise, and seeing the human in the other person will not happen. Yes, there'll always be this antagonism, this unnecessary antagonism, and this is partly due to a lack of debate, a lack of discussion, which has to be overcome. Yes, you need to speak. So, last but not least, a tougher policy on crime is also an obvious given. So knife crime is through the roof. I know someone close to me personally, my sister's fiance, who recently was a victim of a robbery. Yes, a man approached him with a knife, and he had to give some money to prevent anything negative from occurring. Yes, so it's crazy what's going on in London. So going back now to the economic situation, I would argue that Britain is already on the right path, because in 2016 Britain left the EU, and over the long run, in the long haul, this is a good decision because it allows England and Britain to create its own laws and to not be dictated by the bureaucracy of Brussels and the demands really of Germany. Yes. Hopefully, Poland also leaves the European Union soon, because the European Union is also stifling the growth and development of Poland at this moment in time. This does not mean that when you leave the European Union that you're not a part of Europe. You can still trade with Europe, and we see this again looking at the Scandinavian countries. Yes, so Norway is part of the European Economic Area, but it's not part of the European Union. And I guess this is a reason why Norway is so wealthy. Yes, it has managed to to intelligently navigate its policy, both with regards to neoliberal capitalism and the European Union, to kind of create this wealthy state private model. How else could I put it? State private model, or free market socialist model. We can also call it like this. But yes, the major sticking point will be reducing the reliance on the financial sector of London. So this is an eternal problem in England. Too much wealth is concentrated in London, to the detriment of other regions. And well, this is not a solid foundation, yes, to build upon. So, some final thoughts about the interactions taking place between different individuals. So, at the beginning of my video, I talked about figures such as Steve Laws. Yes, Steve Laws is a radical. He is extremely radical. So he wants everyone out, right? So everyone who's not ethnically British needs to be out of the country. A remigration. He's funny though. He's raw. He's funny. You have to respect him, and he's got a lot of balls to be professing these views online and to really stand up for his country. And for this, I respect him. I don't agree with everything he says. I think he is a bit narrow-minded. He has this kind of English-British narrow-mindedness, we could say. And this is shared by other people. Paul Golding as well. He's like this as well. He's a bit narrow-minded. I don't think he notices the issues. Yes, he doesn't appreciate the Islamic perspective, the Muslim perspective, and the perspective shared by people from other countries. Yes, so I mentioned that Poland is in the same basket, in the same boat, really, when it comes to economics. And so here I would agree with Mohammed Hijab, Dili Hussein, Ali Dawa when they dissect and analyse the workings of neoliberal capitalism, yes? Nick Griffin actually notices this as well, yes? Nick Griffin, Sheikh Imran Hussein, he notices this. And this is an interesting process, yes? It's an interesting process. Liam Tufts as well, I think he's more open-minded. I like him a lot because he is brave, because on his podcast he invites people from different backgrounds and he's really trying to break down the barriers, yes? The same is the case to some degree with Tommy Robinson. And overall this whole process is creating a new subculture. And this is a good sign and something that we should cherish and we should promote, yes, because otherwise who knows what can happen. Things can escalate quickly. Civil war, unnecessary violence. And this can be all averted with freedom of speech and being brave enough to have these discussions. So to end my video, if I were to predict the future of the UK, I believe that for a while it will probably remain balkanized and fragmented. I don't think there will be a civil war, because people would have too much to lose, and subconsciously this process of accepting British and English values is taking place. Yes, people want a middle class life, a middle class existence, where they are allowed to pursue freedom, happiness, and wealth. Yes, people ultimately want to have their own little island, their own little bit of paradise here on earth. And I think everyone, whether they are Muslim, whether they are English, whether they are Romanian, Polish, Eastern European, they have this respect for private property, I think, anyway. This kind of a common sense, yes, common sense view, and this is shared by all, yes. So, and I think it holds, as I wrote here at the end, it holds the greatest sway over the subconscious than many realise. So in this sense, we should be happy about this. But nonetheless, it's still important to have these discussions, to talk about important issues regarding the state of the UK and what we can do, yes, moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some interesting information. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It will help me to grow the channel and to spread more vital information about various topics, really.